still alive? Hello, Frozies! McFrozen Nugget here, coming to you with another video. And today, I'm going to be doing something that I have not done in quite a while on my channel. That is reviews of the Cars color changers. Now, as you can see in the background, I do have two of my older color changes, being that RS Team Lightning McQueen and Brand New Mater. I have them out just simply for a few laughs and giggles. But today's review is going to be on these four. Now, obviously, this is not all the color changers that have been released this year already. But this is just simply a little sample of the ones that you can find. Which are Remembrance Lightning McQueen, Jackson Storm, Piston Cup Champion Jackson Storm, Cruz Ramirez, and Francesco Bernoulli. Same way, as usual, I haven't done this for a while, as you can probably tell. Let's take a look at the packages first. Alright, so here is the packaging. Now, since I got four of these, I'm obviously going to do these like one by one. So first off is Lightning McQueen. He changes from yellow to red. You can see his cold color is red and his warm color is yellow. And then right here, just simply to give a little bit of advice to my viewers. Color change will last longer if you do not expose this to intense heat or direct sunlight for prolonged periods of time. While toys can sometimes get messy, protect play surfaces before use. Dry, rinse, clean, and dry all items thoroughly before storing. To avoid burns, do not use water that is too hot, above 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 49 degrees Celsius. So yeah, that is Remembrance Lightning McQueen. Up next is Jackson Storm. I actually got both of these back in August at Target. And he was actually previously released from China, but only internationally, which Piston Cup Productions actually did a review on them back in late 2018, I think, or was it 2019? I can't remember exactly, but that one actually changed from dark blue to black, whereas this one is a bright blue and changes to black. And also, too, his warm color was actually black, and his cold color was the dark blue. Or, not dark blue, black. Or, yeah, was the blah, blah, blah. Sorry, guys. His warm color was the black, and his cold color was the dark blue. Whereas here, his cold color is black, and his warm color is the light blue. So there is Jackson. As you can see right there, this is actually the Piston Cup Champion Jackson Storm that was seen at the Florida 500. At the end of Cars 3, as opposed to the, just use the diecast, the regular Jackson Storm, where he has the yellow rookie stripes, and the Piston Cup Champion, and the Piston Cup logo is in the usual light gray. Whereas here, it's obviously highlighted, and it says Champion below it in yellow. So that's actually pretty cool that they finally released a Piston Cup Champion Jackson Storm in some sort of form. This one came out of left field for me when I first saw the official images. A re-release of Francesco Bernoulli. Now, obviously, he was originally released in 2011 for Cars 2 as a color changer, changing from pink, not white, to red. Whereas here, he actually changes from blue to red, which is pretty cool. And red's actually his warm color, whereas previously it was his cold color, and the pink was the warm color. Whereas here, the blue is the cold color. And this, along with the next one, as you can see, it's Cruz. My dad actually got these for me on Amazon just yesterday. And now here is Cruz. Now, Danica Cruz, like Jackson, was previously released from China as a color changer. But unlike Jackson, she seems to be about pretty much the exact same, still changing from yellow to orange. Warm coat colors are still the same. Only difference is that she's made in Vietnam. All these are obviously made in Vietnam, whereas previously they were made in China. So, and I know I'm kind of sort of going on about the packaging, but I absolutely love the design. It reminds me very much of the 2010, 2011 color changes, where you have the water kind of splashing onto them from the back, changing their colors. And I also really like the new color changers logo, kind of similar to the previous one from 2015 and 2016. Now, as Blue Collection has also said in his videos on the color changes back in the day, these guys are made of plastic and are the same size as the usual diecast, being 1/55 scale. And no stickers, and they are all custom decaled. Now, obviously, comparing them to the older color changes, like for example, here is Lightning McQueen, they are quite a bit different. Now, previously with the color changes, like for McQueen, they could only do like one set color for a certain decal, like for his 95. Originally, it was just simply sort of a goldenrod color, and then the flames were all just yellow, and no smaller decals. Whereas now, is the full gradient color, fading from yellow to red, like on the official diecast. Obviously, I will be comparing them a little bit later on. And the flames are even the gradient too, going from yellow to orange. And they didn't even have to do this. They got the secondary sponsors for the Piston Cup. Right there. Piston Cup, Octane Gain, RPM, Revolting, and Clutch Aid. Now that is freaking cool. And you can't really see it too well on the camera, but they even got the Lightning McQueen signature on both edges of the roof. Whereas that was not on the older ones. So in my opinion, these color changes are definitely a huge upgrade from their older counterparts back in the day. So let's actually first we'll start with the comparisons. I'll actually do the two that are already in their warm colors, since they match up with their diecast counterparts more. Start with Danica Cruz Ramirez. Here's the 1/55 scale diecast. Now, as you can see, her yellow is a little bit more faded, since it obviously does change color. Changes to orange. The headlights are actually now just silver, which I'm fine with, obviously. And the decals are actually the standard blue. And my phone is not focused. There we go. They're actually the standard blue, much like the older May 1st releases of Danica Cruz. 51 on the roof. Actually, I didn't know this yet, but the rims are actually just a sort of dark navy blue, as opposed to the metallic blue, which is interesting. And if you can, in case anyone can tell, these are already kind of wet because I have them in a custom paint job. So I dipped them in the hot water to get them all the way back to their original warm colors. And in the back, you can see her yellow rookie stripes. And the taillights are actually just a normal red. Instead of a darker red. And she does still have those window bars. So that's cool. So that's fine. And obviously the base made in Vietnam versus made in China. And obviously I will link to the reviews of these color changers from both Piston Cup Productions and also RG Cars 5. Next up is Francesco Bernoulli. I'm definitely happy to have this new color changer of Francesco. Now, one thing that RC did say is that Francesco's eyes are a little bit weird, but that's partially because he's made in Vietnam. Personally, I don't really complain about it. And actually, for the most part, his facial expression is the exact same. So it's got dust on him. The only difference is that his mouth is actually now closed as opposed to being open, showing his teeth. And obviously like with Cruz, his red is a little bit darker. One thing I definitely like is that this is my first Francesco since 2013. So he's obviously got fresh tires. As opposed to these ones that are kind of scraping off. Yeah, he doesn't actually have the all-in-all decal on there, which is kind of weird. For the most part, they actually did get all the decals on Francesco. He actually doesn't have his signature. Again, that's kind of interesting. World Grand Prix text on his spoiler. So yeah. And obviously I will compare McQueen and Jackson in a little bit, but first let's do some color changing. So obviously, as said on the back of the packages, all you need is hot water and cold water. Now, obviously when you get them, it kind of depends on the time of the year and the temperature inside of the store. Because usually they come in their warm colors. Whereas during the winter and oftentimes during the spring and fall, they actually come in their cold colors, which, again, mainly depends on the time of the year, and Cruz's back is already starting to change a little bit. But anyway, again, usually when it comes to this, hot water changes the color, or not hot water, cold water changes the color, and hot water is going to change it back. Now, since they're already in their warm colors, I'm going to start with the cold water. Let's start with Francesco. Oh yeah, look at that. Let's take a close look at him. How cool is that blue on him? Now let's change him back. Oh. Okay. So now let's go for Cruz. Yeah, it's not bad. RC actually did say that the orange on Cruz is a little bit dull compared to Paul Conrad, which I do plan on getting a good handful of the color changers in this new line, since I know the older ones have become super rare. I'm definitely glad that they're actually doing that they are releasing a color changer of the King. So now let's do Jackson. Yeah, he easily has the biggest color change, because look at this. He starts off with this as this light blue, and then you dip him in cold water. He instantly changes to black. Look at that. That is a big difference. I'd say he's probably my personal favorite. And obviously I am going to do a comparison between him and his die-cast counterpart in a little bit. And obviously, since I've had McQueen and Jackson for a couple months, they have gotten a few chips here and there, but they're not too bad. McQueen's are a little bit worse, but they can only really see them from the back. Let's make sure it's one color completely. So now for cold water. I definitely really like the cold color on McQueen. Just look at how vibrant that red is. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. there were a couple of white spots on here that I tried to sort of scrape off, but I only just made it a little bit worse. But it's not too bad. He still looks cool. Now let's change him back. There is also a new Daco car wash playset coming later this year, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully I can get that and do a review on it and maybe play around with it while I'm at it. So now after that, well, let's do the comparison between McQueen and Jackson. Okay, so here is... Wait. That's not the right color. Hey, I thought it was. Jackson, you get your ass back in there. Alright. You happy now? Yes, I am. Thank you. Quit being a jerk here. Fine. Okay, so here is the comparison between the color changes version of Jackson and the regular diecast of him. Now, obviously, as you can tell, kind of on the camera, he's actually black here, whereas on the diecast, he's a dark gray. But obviously, the main difference is that Piston Cup Champion decal, or as you can see, it just says Piston Cup, but it's obviously highlighted in yellow. Zoom in on that. I'm definitely really happy that they released him as a color changer. At least it's better than nothing. And there is the difference up there. Obviously, the decals are a little bit bigger on the Vietnam version compared to the China version. But again, it's mainly because he's made in Vietnam. And obviously, the decals are still a little bit fuzzy compared to China. But they're a little bit better than Thailand, for sure. Actually, no window bars, which is interesting. Like I said with Daco Cruz and those flat blue decals, kind of like the older May 1st releases. Just now, all Jackson Storm diecasts have those window bars. And the igniter spoiler is actually a lighter gray. And the text is black. Whereas here, you can barely even see the igniter text, and it's a dark gray. Actually, on the older May 1st release, it was a little bit... The spoiler was a little bit better, where you can actually see it. And obviously, right there, instead of the rookie stripes, he has the Piston Cup Champion sticker on the back, which he got just before the Florida 500 towards the end of Cars 3. And as you can kind of tell, the back here is sort of a glossy finish, because this part of Jackson does not change color, only the front does. Really, from here to the front does not change color. As you can see, he does have a few chips here and there. But again, like I said, it's mainly because I've had him for a little while, and I've played around with him a little bit, but it's not in too bad. But he's still in pretty decent shape. So yeah. Actually, they even got the little arrow underneath the big S or hurricane symbol to indicate where the pit crew should lift him up at to change his tires. Compared to the previous release in 2018 or 2019. Actually, yeah, I think it was 2018. When they didn't even have that. And the taillights were actually just flat red, instead of being this detail. And the gas cap wasn't even colored in. Whereas here it obviously is. So yeah, I definitely really like this variation of Jackson. Oh, actually he doesn't have the Jackson Storm text on the sides like he does here. But considering how many positives he has over that previous color changes Jackson, this one definitely takes the win for me in terms of which one I like better. Though that other one is still cool with the dark blue. So that is Jackson Storm. Now let's move on to the comparison of Lightning McQueen. Alright, so here is Lightning McQueen. And, hey, Jackson! What? I'm trying to do a video here. Well, I want to be in it. Dude, you were in it already. Go back to that spot. Fine. You don't need to be such a big jerk to everyone just because you lost the floor 500. I didn't lose it. Dude, Cruz beat your ass fair and square, while you just simply scraped her against that wall at the end. I was trying... No, but... Don't even try to make up excuses. Just go back to your place. Fine. You really can be a jerk, can't he? Yeah, he can, Lightning. Yeah, he can. It's one of the reasons why I can still really hate him. So anyway, put that out of the way. Here is the comparison between the color changes version of Cars 3 Remembrance and Lightning McQueen and the diecast version. You can't really see it too well on the camera, but this one's actually a slightly different shade of red compared to the diecast. Actually, you can kind of see it, but it's, for the most part, it's not really that visible. And obviously, the expression is slightly different. Again, Vietnam. He's actually sort of looking to his left now, instead of just looking straight on. His mouth is a little bit... They made it look like his mouth is a little bit bigger. Maybe because they filled in the teeth a little more. Still got the 95 under his headlight. Looks a little fuzzy. But not too bad. Lightning bolts. Rusty's logo on the hood. 95 on the roof. Lightning McQueen's signature. 95 in the flames. Piston Cup's secondary sponsors. Rusty's back here. And that's something I've always noticed on the plastic Lightning McQueens from Cars 3. Here you can see his bumper sticking out like usual, right? But compare that to the diecast. It's not sticking out at all. When in the movie, it's supposed to stick out like that. So that's accurate. But for some reason, it doesn't stick out on him at all on the Cars 3 model. When, like, I'll bring in the Cars 1 diecast. Look at that. That's a big difference. It's supposed to be sticking out like that. And only the plastic versions of the Cars 3 McQueen models actually have that bumper sticking out like that. So I don't know what's going on there, but just wanted to bring it up in this video. Just simply to point it out. And then here's the back. And ignore those ugly chips back there. Blame me. Rusty's again. McQ pump ointment, number 95. Taillights. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Here's the base. Made in Vietnam versus made in China. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for Lightning McQueen. So now, just simply to finish off this video, I'm gonna play around with these guys a little bit in the water. First, the warm water is kind of wearing off. Obviously, the colder and the warmer the water, the faster the car will change the color. That's what I've also learned from Blue Collection. You can see it's taking a little while for him to change. You can see it kind of changing back a little bit. Yeah, just stick them in there. Stick them all in there. Only time you ever see this on YouTube, someone actually filling up the entire warm container that's losing its warm with color changers, just to get them nice and just get them in their warm colors. I'm actually gonna give these guys a little bit of a custom paint job. Yeah, you can see my carpet is getting pretty wet, but it's just water, not really a big deal. So let's see. As you can see, I'm just sticking my finger in there. Look at that. Look how cool that is. See, this is one of the reasons why I love the color changes. They're just so much fun to play around with and change the colors. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry I haven't been doing reviews lately, but hopefully as the year nears its end, maybe I can get back to doing more reviews and less of putting together edited videos like the ones I've been doing lately. So yeah, as usual, social media links are in the description below. Drop a like if you enjoyed this. Obviously, I will put links to those videos from Piston Cup Productions and RC Cars 5. Also, subscribe to them. Also, put their channel links in the description as well. So, yeah. And by the way, just simply because I feel like it, hashtag MAGA 2020, hashtag Trump 2020. So as usual, love all your forces to death, regardless of differing opinions. And of course, don't forget to keep it rigid, and may the force be with you, always.